And now to our interview with the guest of the day. I am now joined by the governorship candidates of the All Progressives Congress APC in Kaduna State. Senator Uba Sani is also a 7th senator for Kaduna Central Senatorial District. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, distinguished senator.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Kaduna is among the 28 states where governorship elections will hold on March 18. How ready is your party for the battle ahead?
Thank you very much for the question. I have no doubt in my mind the entire APC candidates, both myself and the candidate for the House of Assembly, were fully prepared for the 18 March election by the grace of God. We are fully prepared. Of course, we had a little setback. We were prepared for the election on the 11th, but unfortunately, INEC decided to postpone the election, which most of us have agreed with their own decision, because we all agree that this election must be conducted in a manner that everybody will be satisfied. Some of us that are in the National Assembly who have participated in the amendment of the Electoral Act believe that this election must be conducted using technology. That is why we supported INEC position to move the election to 18th of March. And we are fully prepared for 18th of March.
So how has our campaign been so far?
Yeah, we have resumed our campaign. Of course, we have resumed our campaign because in politics, when you have opportunity, you capitalize on it. So we are trying our best to go back to places we campaigned before. And the people are really happy, and we are also taking the opportunity to reach out to some critical stakeholders that we need to see them again. So the campaign is going very well, and the people of Kaduna State are happy with what we've done in the state so far in the last 7.5 years by our amiable Governor Nasir Ahmed Rufai. So we are welcomed by the people of Kaduna State, and have no doubt in my mind they will come out to vote for APC, not only myself, but the members of the State Assembly. The people are happy with the level of development in our own state, and that is why they are happy to be part of the APC, and I have no doubt in my mind we will have a very large turnout in the next election.
All right, so 17 candidates are contesting this election in Kaduna State. How do you rate your chances among them?
I think it's not the numbers that matters, it's the quality. The people of Kaduna State, like I always say, they are very sophisticated. They are people that are cosmopolitan. And of course, you are aware that we're the capital of northern Nigeria. So the people are following the track record of all the candidates. And I have no doubt in my mind, on the 18th of March, they will elect their governor on the basis of our own track records. So I'm happy. Most people of my state have followed my own achievement as the sitting senator, my track record. And they also try as much as possible to compare my track record with that of other candidates. And luckily for me, all the leading candidates in Kaduna State, at one time or the other, had opportunity to present their various constituencies in the National Assembly. So it's very easy for the people of Kaduna State to rate all of us. And I have no doubt in my mind they will vote for me based on my track record. Because what we've done in the last 3.5 years in the National Assembly is unprecedented in the history of Kaduna State. So that for me is what I believe will be my own advantage. We've done a lot, in particular in the area of education and development. I've attracted a lot of intervention in the area of education. As I was speaking, I have so many projects that no senator in this of Kaduna State since 1999 have even done half of that. And the people of Kaduna State are really happy, particularly in the areas of education and development, healthcare, human capital, in terms of supporting our teeming youths, as well as women, farmers. That is the area I was really focusing on. And of course, my own effort in trying to support the state government in resolving the issue of insecurity in my own state. These are few of the areas I've really done well in the National Assembly. And if you look at other candidates, they were there, most of them even before me. Unfortunately, if you look at the record in particular of the man, the PDP candidate who was in the National Assembly for 8 years. Unfortunately, he did not attract a single project worth ₦1 billion. And of course, he did not even sponsor a single bill that has touched the life of our people. But sitting here, I'm a senator with 32 bills. 2 of them have already been assented by Mr. President that have become law in our own country, and one of them have affected the lives of the people of my own state positively in terms of expanding financial inclusion. As you are aware, the people of northern Nigeria, not only Kaduna State, we are having problem of people that are financially excluded in terms of not getting involved in issues that affect our economy. But at the level of National Assembly, when I amended the Welfare Act, the Banking and Other Financial Institution Act, we were able to support a lot of people who have access now to money, and that for me is an advantage. A lot of people in northern Nigeria have benefited, not only in Kaduna State. So these are the areas we are looking at, and the people of Kaduna State in the last 2 to 3 months, they have been looking at those achievements, comparing the candidates. For me, that is what will really help the APC, not only me, to win the next election by the grace of God.
All right, Senator, with PDP winning Kaduna State with over 550,000 votes, many didn't expect your party to lose the presidential election in Kaduna State. Tell us what happened. Why did your party lose?
Of course, I don't think we have to blame anyone. If you look at the pattern of the elections in Kaduna State, look at the 2019 as well as 2015, when rufai won by over 1 million votes. When we look at the statistics and the result of the last election, we all agree that most of the APC supporters, and particularly candidates, which I'm not going to blame any of them, probably did not bring the people out. So we have poor turnout. PDP just got the normal votes they used to get. So the 600,000 people that did not come out are APC supporters, which we have reached out to them now. We talked to them, and I have no doubt in my mind this time around they will come out. So it's not like the people rejected APC or we have any problem with the people. No, it's simply because most of our candidates do not really, I'm not talking about a presidential candidate, but the people at the level of the House of Reps and some levels. But they did their best, but I'm just saying we'll have done better. But that should not be the factor that will determine the next election. You know, the next election will be a local election, and because of what our governor have done, like I said, in Kaduna State, most of the people are willing to come out to ensure that we have continuity in Kaduna State, knowing fully that the PDP government in 16 years did not do anything in education, in healthcare, which Kaduna State, being the capital of northern Nigeria, was backward when you look at our education development in the last 16 years of PDP government. But when rufai was elected 2015 to date, everything have changed in Kaduna State. And if you are used to, or someone who is familiar with the Kaduna State, you will agree with me, things have really changed. rufai have come with urban renewal that is unprecedented in this country. If you are someone who have been to Kaduna in the last few months, will agree with me. So the people are really happy. They love APC. They believe APC must continue because no PDP will reverse all the achievements and gains made by our APC government under the able leadership of Governor Rufai.
All right, so Senator, based on what you just said, are you saying that the performance of the PDP in the just concluded presidential election will not affect your chances in the state?
At all, it will not affect my chances. I can assure you APC will win the election landslide on the 18th of March. I have no doubt in my mind. Like I said, I will be on the ballot on the 18th, and other candidates will be. So the people of Kaduna will look at all of us. And the problem is that those candidates had opportunity in the past, and they didn't do anything. And for me, it's a major advantage for our party, the APC. And of course, like I said, if you look at the healthcare development and the free education by Governor Rufai, which in Kaduna State, as we're speaking, is a state that have already introduced free education in the last 4 years, or even in the last 6 years, from primary school up to secondary school. Is free, and not only that, we have also initiated scholarship support for our students who school abroad, some school in Nigeria. So we have done a lot in terms of educational development. And when you look at the issue of healthcare development, Rufai is the only governor in Kaduna State that have been able to build primary healthcare in all the 255 wards we have in Kaduna State. As only yesterday, we commissioned few of them because all the 255 are fully equipped. And again, another 50 have just been built, and they are also been equipped. So we have almost 300 primary healthcare built by Governor Rufai. When we came in 2015, healthcare was really in a very serious crisis. Not to talk of the general hospital in all the local governments of our states. They have been rehabilitated, equipped. The number of doctors we have in Kaduna State have been increased. In some cases, from just less than 20 right now to over 50-something. In some cases, our nurses are hundreds right now. So we have done a lot in healthcare development, in education, and when you look at the urban infrastructure, you will agree with me that Governor Rufai have done a lot. And when you look at the investment that those infrastructural development have attracted to Kaduna State, we are talking in terms of, when you look at the state now, we have about more than 4.3 billion foreign and local investment, $4.3 billion local and foreign investment attracted by this government. If you had opportunity of attending our investment summit, you will agree with me that it's the best in this country, where Governor Rufai have done so much. So we've done so much, and not to talk of my own track record as a senator too. The combination of these factors will certainly help APC to win the election on the 18th of March.
All right. I know you said your party lost because some members of the APC did not come out to vote. But do you agree that the Naira redesign that inflicted so much pain on Nigerians made them vote or made them to vote against the APC?
Yeah, like I said, the poor turnout is that it's not that our governor have done his best. Taking the federal government to court, challenging the Naira redesign, but at the time he went to court, most of our people were already angry. They could not be able to differentiate between the federal government policy and state government policy. Most of them protested. I agree with you. They protested, but we tried to convince them to come out. Most of them in the rural areas that are traders have suffered a lot. They have taken their money to the bank, but unfortunately they were not able to get their money back. That has affected them, and in some cases, some of them, the petty traders, they have to now lower the price of their goods. to be able to sell them. So that has affected our people. You know, in Kaduna State, when you look at the rural local governments, they are, most of them are smallholder farmers, traders. They suffered, but Governor have done a lot in trying to making them to understand that is not our policy. But because of the level of awareness of our people in terms of government policies, they were not convinced. But we keep trying. Even in the last 1 week, Governor Rufai has gone out to most of the major local governments, and we went together with him to keep convincing our people. But they are happy now with the Supreme Court judgment that the decision has been reversed, and that could really help us in this very election. So the 600,000 that did not come out to vote, like I said, are APC supporters. And if you look at the last election, 2019, RFI won with 1.1 million votes. PDP still had around 500,000. So, and again in 2015, we won with over 1 million votes. So we will bring out our supporters, our party, men and women, this time around. And I know they will not let us down. They will come out. And APC is a leading candidate in Kaduna. It is a leading political party in Kaduna State. And all other parties, the Labour, the PDP, the NNPP, most of the candidates are people that are known by the people of Kaduna State, and they know the track record of PDP when they had opportunity, and they spent the 16 years bringing Kaduna State backward. So that for me is not a major problem that will make me have sleepless nights going forward, going toward the election on the 18th of March. Like I said, I have not that in my mind. Even the members of the State Assembly who are going to be also among the candidates that will be vying for the election, I have no doubt in my mind we will win together with them, because they are people that are competent, qualified, and they are loved by the people of Kaduna State, so we wouldn't have any problem.
All right. So, Senator Sani, let me get your reaction to this. The opposition claims that you were instrumental to the idea of Naira redesign. Is that the case?
I think that is the figment of their own imagination. They are not familiar with the acts that a central bank rely on to initiate this policy of Naira redesign. It's when the Central Bank Act was amended in 2007, I was not even a member of the National Assembly. So Central Bank decided to redesign this Naira using the Central Bank Act of 2007, and they rely on Section 20 of Section 3. I wasn't in the National Assembly. I was only involved in amending the Welfare Act, which have nothing to do with the Naira redesign. It's just to expand the financial inclusion and support our people in northern Nigeria who, most of them are unbanked. 70% of the people of northern Nigeria, particularly the rural people, are unbanked. So that was my intervention, and President Buhari assented to that bill 2020. So for me, for those thinking that because I'm the chairman Senate Committee on Banking, I have any role to play or to stop the central bank or the federal government or President Buhari, there might be ignorance about the responsibility and the role of the National Assembly. The President of Nigeria don't need the endorsement of the National Assembly or our support to use the Central Bank Act. Yes, it is the Senate or the National Assembly that amended the Central Bank Act. That was in 2007. But until it's amended, that is a law. So for me, I don't believe anybody who's familiar with the National Assembly and the role that we play in oversighting the central bank. Most of the people that are educated, I don't think they will come with that kind of thinking, because we don't do it. We didn't do it. It's the federal government, and they rely on the Central Bank out of 2007. So I was in the National Assembly. I didn't even know the people that championed the amendment at that time.
All right, thank you for that. The current administration has also been, seriously criticized for some of its policies, especially the sack of primary school teachers, local governments, and traditional rulers. Do you think this also contributed to the outcome of the election in Kaduna State?
At all. If there's any major factor, like I said, it's only the sudden Naira redesign policy of the federal government, which Governor rufai fought, but it was not something we succeeded at that time. But now that the Supreme Court have given the judgment, and rufai was the person that led that effort, I think the people of Kaduna are now happy, now believing that he was not involved. Kaduna said it wasn't involved. So they locked the governor and now are happy with his intervention. But the issue of Governor rufai's policy, let me make it clear that people kept talking about retrenchment of teachers in Kaduna State. The teachers were retrenched even before the 2019 election. So people have to put this record straight. rufai retrenched the workers before the 2019 election, and at that time, the opposition went to town, mobilizing the retrenched workers, instigating them to vote against APC and against Governor rufai. But unfortunately, for me, it was a retrenchment, it was replacement, because when rufai retrenched 22,000 primary school teachers, he also recruited about 25,000. And the people that were recruited are also people from Kaduna State. The only difference is that those retrenched were just employed by PDP government, not because they were qualified, but because it was on the basis of allocation. You remember during the PDP government in Kaduna State, primary teachers were not going through any test, any exam. No, they don't even, nobody look at their own qualification. If you're a politician, or you're a traditional ruler, or you're a big man, they will just call you and give you allocation to bring like 10, 20 primary school teachers so that they will be on the salary. And I don't think, most of them even never gone to the school at all. That they were employed to go and teach our children. So for me, most of those policies of the PDP government, reducing primary schools to that level at that time, affected the educational system of Kaduna State. So when rufai came, he looked at all of us. Then I was his advisor on political matters. He sat all of us and asked us that, look, we must fear God, because most of us at that room attended public schools, not private schools. And he asked us, is it fair to now reduce the children of the poor to go into school where the teachers have no certificate, no qualification, not even qualified? So we supported the governor to take that decision, and that decision really helped Kaduna State. And I'll give you one example. When we came in 2015, the WAEC result, if you go and check, the record is there. Only about 22% of the students of Kaduna State had 5 credits and above. But if you look at the result of the WAEC, you agree with me that there's improvement, because we have 77% of the students of Kaduna State that have 77% and above. So for me, it's a major achievement, and that happens because Governor rufai believes education is the greatest leveler. And that is the only thing you can give to the children of the poor, to compete with the children of the rich and the powerful. So that's why he took that very important decision, in my own opinion. And again, that has really helped in repositioning Kaduna State in terms of our educational development. As of today, Kaduna State is the when you look at the system, I'm not just talking because I'm from Kaduna State, but I'm just talking in terms of facts and figures. Kaduna State is leading in northern Nigeria right now as the best state when you look at the WAEC result. And again, you look at the quality of our teachers in secondary school. When he came in, you look at the quality of teachers in secondary school, and you realize that first and foremost, we don't even have enough schools. He built new schools, equipped them, and employed, he recruited about 10,000 teachers in our secondary schools because the PDP do not even find it important to look at the secondary school education. So he did that by making sure that people with master's degree, in some cases, graduates are recruited to teach in our secondary schools. So for me, it's a major achievement of our government at the moment, and the governor have done extremely well. So nobody should be talking about rufai have sacked the workers. He employed more workers than the one he sacked.
All right. Bearing in mind that there are 17 candidates contesting the governorship election in Kaduna State, analysts say this election is a straight battle between you in APC, Issa Ashiru of the PDP, Jonathan Ashake of the Labour Party, and Suleiman Hunkuyi of the NNPP. How do you react to this?
For me, like I said earlier, that I don't see there's any major contest there. I respect all of them. I believe they are also candidates in their own rights, representing their political parties. But like I said, why the major reason why I do not see them as a major threat, I don't see any major threat or any challenge, is because, like I said earlier, Kaduna State people are very sophisticated. And you will agree with me on the 18th of March. They have been following our progress, our track records. They know us very, very well. And like I said, with due respect to most of them, probably the only person that I can say have done a bit in the National Assembly is maybe Jonathan Asake when he was in the House of Reps. I've looked at his record. But when I look at the record of the PDP candidate, I was shocked that he did not even move a single motion. In 8 years, neither did he even attract a project worth 1 billion naira. But you're talking to a person here who have attracted projects of more than 15 billion in Kaduna State at the moment. I have built lots of primary healthcare clinics in Kaduna State. I've also been able to build a lot of ICT centers, complexes in most of our secondary school within my own senatorial district. And I right now building a faculty of engineering in Kaduna State University worth 4 billion naira. When completed, it will be the best faculty of engineering in northern Nigeria. So I'm not talking about federal universities, but state-owned university. I have no doubt in my mind it will be the best in northern Nigeria. So for me, these are the things that people of Kaduna State are looking at. They are not people that just will go and vote on the basis of sentiments. No. They will be very careful because they want someone that will move the state forward. They've seen the achievement, they've seen what is on ground. They will not afford to elect anyone that will take Kaduna State backward. They are very clever people.
All right, Senator Sani, I understand your level of confidence, but there are reports that about 7 or 9 governorship candidates in Kaduna State have endorsed a candidate of PDP, talking about Issa Ashiru. Are you concerned about these endorsements? If you can hear me, let me repeat my question. There are reports that about 7 or 9 governorship candidates in Kaduna State have endorsed the candidate of PDP, Issa Ashiru. Are you concerned about these endorsements? All right, I've been speaking with the candidates of the All Progressives Congress in Kaduna State, Uba Sani. And we're discussing the state governorship election battle. He is also the 7th senator for Kaduna Central Senatorial District. All right, Senator, if you can hear me, let me repeat this question. There are reports that about 7 or 9 governorship candidates in Kaduna State have endorsed the candidates as your closest opponent, the candidate of the PDP, Issa Ashiru. Are you concerned about these endorsements? All right, let's take a quick break and I will be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Politics Tonight, and I still have with me on the program today the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC in Kaduna State, Senator Uba Sani. We've been discussing the state governorship election battle in Kaduna State. All right, Senator Sani, there are reports that about 7 or 9 governorship candidates in Kaduna State have endorsed the candidate of PDP, Issa Ashiru. Are you concerned about these endorsements?
And to be honest, I'm not worried, I'm not concerned, because most of the political parties we are talking about that came out and claimed to endorse the PDP candidates don't even have addresses in Kaduna. They don't have offices, they only exist in briefcase. So for me, I'm not worried, I'm not concerned. Like I said, if I wanted everyone to come and endorse me, I will get endorsement every day. But politics is not about propaganda. It's about being very practical and approaching issues realistically. So I'm not really concerned about that. I prepare the people of Kaduna State, the masses, the people, to endorse me, and they are the people that really endorse me, not political parties that don't have addresses, no offices. In Kaduna State, no followership. They only exist in the briefcase and the headed paper. So for me, I'm not worried at all. We are more concerned with the grassroots support. People that who have taken development to their doorsteps, people that who have really helped them in terms of improving their lives, women that were supported in terms of supporting their businesses, farmers that were supported in terms of enhancing their farming. These are the people we are more concerned about. So for me, these are the category of people that matters to me, but not people gathering probably about between 15 to 16 of them, their supporters coming out to say I've endorsed so person. No. On a daily basis, I'm having thousands of women who are entrepreneurs who have been happy with the policies of our government, that have carried women, and of course you will agree with me, it's only in Kaduna State you've seen women having better opportunities than the men in terms of getting bigger political office. We have more commissioners in our government than even women than men. So I have been endorsed by a lot of women groups who are really established, and a lot of teaming youth and our farmers. These are the people that matters. These are the people that will come out on the 18th of March to vote. So for me, it's about grassroots support. It's about the people that really matters. These are the people that matters, not the elites who will not even vote on the 18th of March. So that, for me, is my own opinion. I am not worried. I'm not even bothered. For me, it was a joke. Yeah.
All right then. INEC postponed the governorship election by a week. What impact do you think this will have on your preparations?
Yes, of course. We are prepared to. We are prepared, extremely prepared for the election to hold on the 11th. But when INEC came out through their National Commissioner, Mr. Festus Okoye, and issue a statement, we first look at their reasons, and as a member of the National Assembly who participated in the amendment of the Electoral Act, I supported their position because all of us are clamoring for the election to be conducted free, for us to have a free, fair, and credible election in our own country. So that is the reason why, when I heard about it, we were patient. But when we saw the statement, we look at the statement and we realized that the INEC took the decision in the best interest of all of us, because we were the people that advocated for the use of technology in our elections, and for INEC to now decided to shift this election to 18th of March, given these very important reasons. Certainly, we have to support them. And I think, of course, it affected us because we were prepared. But of course, we want free, fair, and credible election. So because of that, we support them. And we'll continue to support INEC to conduct free, fair, and credible election in our country.
All right, then. So the rufai administration has expanded the state infrastructure and is considered one of the most successful governors in its history in terms of infrastructure. Do you see this as a challenge or an advantage?
I think it has a very, very great advantage for some of us that know economy very well, some of us that have traveled wide and far. We know that if you are running a state, the most important thing you need to look at is look at the level of investment you can attract. And like I said, because of the urban renewal, we have attracted investment worth $4.3 billion in Kaduna. So look at Orland, look at Tomato Juice, look at even the investment by the natural resource. You look at many companies that have come to Kaduna, both foreign and local, to invest in Kaduna State, and the investments are worth. Look at OCP, Morocco fertilizer that have just been established, worth millions of dollars. All this investment that I mentioned have attracted about 75% employment to our youths, our farmers, our women. So that is one thing. Second thing is that it has also enhanced the business of our farmers, who really, right now, they benefited from Orland. So that is why, like I said, Kaduna State is one of the states that is one of the leading states in terms of maize farming as well as ginger. So that is the reason why most of this investment that Governorship attracted, like Orland, have really helped our farmers and our traders. So for me, it's not about the urban renewal have helped us to generate $4.3 billion investment. And of course, the indirect jobs that have been created right now are worth over 200,000. I'm just talking about 75,000 direct jobs. So when you look at it, how do you run a government? Running a government is to improve the level of productivity, creating employment, enhancing the businesses of your people, particularly the smallholder farmers as well as petty traders. So the governor have done extremely well. But again, the RFI did not only focus on metropolitan local governments as been wrongly right now advanced by our opponents, that's the PDP. If you look at all other 23 other local governments that are not within the metropolitan, Governor have done a lot. I just mentioned the 255 primary health care. We're talking about every local government and every ward in the local government. That is what I'm talking about. So how will you be talking about only focusing on metropolitan? Again, I'm coming. And if you look at that, because I was part of RFI's government in the first 4 years. Yeah.
All right. Just because of time, we're definitely out of time. In 30 seconds, tell me 5 key areas that would get most of your attention, even when you get elected. In 30 seconds.
Of course, yeah. Number one, like I said, I will focus in the rural areas, because Governor Rufai have done a lot in his urban renewal. But if you look at manifesto, we made it clear that we will now focus on the rural areas, the local governments, to improve their own, to build on what Rufai have done so far in other local governments in terms of infrastructure development, healthcare, education. That is one. Number two, we look at the issue of security, which we've not mentioned here. If you look at manifesto, it's one key area that I'm going to focus on. And again, education for me is key. We will build on the gains of Governor Rufai in terms of educational development in Kaduna State. Again, we have our farmers, we have our women, we have our youths. In investing in human capital, we will also look at our women that are largely entrepreneurs to support them with grants and help our teaming youth in helping them to advance their skills, because right now, most of them are really hardworking, but we have to support them and train them and give them grants to be able to be self-reliant. So these are areas which we will focus on.
All right. Sadly, time runs so fast. I was speaking with the governorship candidate of APC in Kaduna State, Senator Uba Sani. Thank you very much for coming on Politics Tonight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.